Did you know that we have microbes all over our body? We talk a lot about, and when I say we, I feel like just the wellness and the health field. We talk about the gut microbiome, and I just like froth at the mouth. I get so excited to talk about it and to learn about it because it's so amazing and it does some really cool stuff for us. But did you know that we have microbiomes everywhere, not just in our gut? We have one that's in our mouth, and this is a really, really important one. So I'm going to talk about something that you might actually be doing in your daily routine that could be negatively impacting your health when you actually think it might be positively impacting your health. So the reason why I kind of hype all of this up is I had some conversations with some clients, and that's where this topic is kind of coming from. So I hope you are able to glean some insights from it. So we're going to talk about something called nitrous oxide, nitric oxide, nitrate, all the things, okay? Because this is it's a gas. Specifically, the one that helps us from a health perspective is nitrite. Thinking I is important, all right? So nitrous oxide, you maybe have heard this before if you've had laughing gas, or this is, if you're a big fan of Fast and Furious, this is what they pump into their cars to go faster. Nitrous. Nitric oxide is something that can be really helpful for our health and have a lot of research behind it, especially from a sport performance perspective. So we look at this a lot for athletes, for professional athletes, for collegiate athletes, that kind of thing. And so a while ago, I had an intern, Maddie, not the most recent Maddie, but I had another one who talked about beetroot supplements and how it impacts nitric oxide production. So that's kind of where all of this is kind of piecing together. So the whole point behind all this, nitric oxide is going to be a vasodilator, which means it helps our blood vessels open, all right? And we want to have our blood vessels, we want them to be able to open and to close. But we especially want them to open from a blood pressure perspective. So if they're closed off or if they're really hard, again, if we think about just physics of pressure, that smaller space is going to increase our blood pressure. So we want our blood vessels to be able to open up a little bit, and that's going to help reduce our blood pressure. So from a blood pressure perspective, nitric oxide is super important. Now, of course, you're probably already thinking like, okay, well, how do we get nitric oxide? We can't necessarily supplement with it literally because, again, it's in a gas form. But what we can do, what researchers have shown us, is that we can take some of those building blocks in, like what's found in beetroot juice or beetroot powder. There's some things in leafy greens, in some of our animal products, and we can supplement with some specific amino acids that can help boost nitric oxide production. So this is a good thing. We want some of this. But here's where the catcher comes into play, where I kind of alluded to at the beginning of you might be doing something that you think is supporting your health, but it could be harming your nitric oxide production. There's one really cool thing about our oral microbiome. We've got some bacteria in our mouth that can break some of those food pieces down and use some of those building blocks and can prepare some of those things to make nitrous oxide. So our mouth microbiome can help us with nitric oxide production. That's really cool. It's not making it literally in our mouth quite yet, but it helps, again, with bringing it and having it be ready for our body to then use. But if you are using an antiseptic mouthwash, you're killing all of those guys off. Yes, you are cleaning your mouth, and yes, we're getting rid of that bad bacteria that can cause bad breath, ones that can impact cavities. You're totally right, but now we're also getting rid of that nitric oxide supporting bacteria as well. If you are somebody that has been using like an antiseptic mouthwash, this is not me saying that you need to go riot at your dentist office, but just be kind of informed. Do you have some connections with blood pressure? Maybe this is something you want to investigate a little bit further. Maybe you want to change up your routine a little bit. I don't know. I'm just a dietitian, so I'm just talking about the food stuff, okay? But it is something, again, that can impact our body's ability to use some of that stuff that comes in from our food, and it's going to impact our health, again, especially from a blood pressure perspective. So here are some other research articles that you can kind of jump into a little bit, or you can find the way to find them in the caption below. So if you're interested, this is kind of a little launch pad that you can kind of jump into a little bit to further investigate. So in the field of dietetics, like, yes, we talk about food and we talk about nutrients, but we talk about that whole process of things coming into our body and going all the way down. And again, those microbiome bugs, they can really be helpful too sometimes. So we don't want to be killing all of them off. So now that you know better, let's go ahead and do better so we can all be better.